Hello everyone, my name is Shamim and I'm new on YouTube, a content creator. This time around I'm going to be different from everyone because I love reading novels, so I'm going to read a novel to my viewers. I'm going to read to you a novel called To Remarry a Billionaire, written by Serena Harry. But I'm only going to read only a first chapter, and since this is a prologue and it's about Camilla, I sat down, peering out of the window of the church changing room to stare up at the sky, but I wasn't really staring at it. My eyes were glazed over with tears that wanted to drop, but I couldn't let myself cry. If I were to ruin the makeup my stepmother had so diligently stamped into my face a few minutes before the wedding, then she could as well kill me before I have to walk down the aisle to marry the man I don't know anything about. Oh, yes, you guessed it all right. This is an arranged marriage. And funny how something so old school was happening to me right now in this 21st century. I mean, what could I have possibly done in my past life to deserve this? Last week, Dad had invited me to dinner because there's something very important to discuss. And that was when he told me I would be getting married to the first son of the Klein family. Oh, yes, he didn't ask me. He told me, and I knew it was my stepmother's idea. Rumor had it that the man had gone to prison for a year, but I wasn't sure what the charge was. No one knew who he was or what he looked like, but my dearest father wanted me to marry him. According to him, Mr. Klein had promised to buy off his on the edge of bankruptcy company for a good price and help him settle his debt, the one that accumulated from my stepmother and her daughter's excess spending if he agreed to marry off one of his daughters to his first son. I wondered why they didn't choose Sasha for that, why it had to be me. Then they said it was because I was more mature for the task of getting married to him. I was cool-headed and grounded. Sorry, I sniffed back my tears at the same time I heard my stepmother speak behind me. You really should be glad we are giving you this honor. You are saving your father's company, don't you think? Beverly's heart as granite voice said to me, and I wanted to roll my eyes at that. So much for giving me the honor. Why not give her own daughter the honor of marrying someone she had never met, someone she never loved? Why should that be me? Yes, I suppose it is, I whispered, even though I don't believe that one bit. Looking down at the dress I was wearing, a simple white chiffon dress that Beverly had picked up for me, a dress that looked as if it was made for someone twice my size. I shook my head. If anyone had told me that this would be my wedding dress, or that I would be getting married right out of college, I would have thought they were batshit crazy. Her excuse for picking out this ridiculous dress was that she didn't have the time to find me a better dress since it was all on short notice. I had wanted to scoff and say, "Oh, so you know it is short notice," but I had just swallowed it down and smiled. When my mother left a few years after I was born to chase a career in acting, my father had raised me on his own, caring for me the best he could until he got tired of being alone and married Beverly. After that, well, my life spiraled out of control, turning it into a case of modern Cinderella. Our stories are far different, though, because my mother had left, she didn't die, and I didn't have three stepsisters. I only have one, but she was all three in one for me. Very nasty and unpleasant. Speaking of, or in this case, thinking of the devil, and she appeared in her Gucci shoes, ones I don't have the luxury of wearing. With the way she was dolled up, one may think she was the one getting married. Oh, Camilla, aren't you the blushing bride? She said as she walked to where I sat, a silly grin on her face. It was as if she knew something I didn't know because that smile sure looked suspicious. I decided it was best to ignore her. I couldn't let her get to me. She was having fun at my expense. And the worst